Hello and welcome to the introduction to the new All Wrapped Up stamp set and All Wrapped Up dies. And this allows you to create cards that look like presents. I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of card makers love also to wrap presents. And what better than to combine the two? You can make your cards look like presents. So the back of the die packaging really shows you some imagery, gets you an idea of what you can create with this collection. So you can get a lot of different pattern wrapping paper and a lot of different styles of bows. The stamp set gives you 3 different border stamps that have patterns that you can create. There's sentiments, yay, a little bit of love, happy birthday, happy day, for you, and cheers. And then there's the 3 little dot stamp and a little heart. Now those sentiments fit perfectly on the tag dies included in the die set. Standard looking tag and a circle tag, and these are sized perfectly to fit on your present looking cards. So here's some samples I created to show you the patterns and the different styles of bows that you can create to top your presents, and then how the tags look, how the sentiments look on the tags. And okay, so here's a double bow I did with a mixture of aqua sky and oceanside cardstock, and then I used that dotted border image. Here I used the 3 dots to create, see that 3 dot stamp? I used that with a bunch of different colors of ink, and then I made a different style of bow. I love how there's all these different styles of bows and ribbon tails. You can mix and match. I used that die and that one to give it the shadow look. And I did a mixture of poppy and cranberry cardstock. And then here's a circle tag with the yay sentiment. Also want to mention there's little tag hole reinforcers. Right there's the 2 different dies, and one is specifically shaped for the circle tag. It's a little bit arched on the top, so it fits perfect on that one. And then this other reinforcer is straight across, perfect for this shape tag. And I just did those out of some craft cardstock. Okay, here's the 2 different bows. Same die, but I doubled up on the right to make a double bow. And then on the left, it's just a standard, you know, typical perfect bow. And you can really customize the ribbon tails too, because you can do 2 different styles of that. I'll show you here in a second. And then here I did several different shades of green with that scallopy border stamp right there, and I just repeated that down the square. By the way, the square measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Here's the happy birthday stamped on that tag, and you can make these Christmas, birthday, anniversary, graduation. There's also 2 little hearts in the die set that you can pop on your tags, your presents. You know, you always need a heart in a few different sizes. So let's put one together. I have a panel of grapefruit cardstock, cutting it to 4 1/4, and then I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So this is going to be in a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I feel like I got to bring out my New York accent. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card base. Okay, and it's a little bit smaller to allow room for the big bow on the top, and that way when you're finished it all fits perfectly in an A2 size envelope. Okay, you also, if you don't want to make a folding card, you could just make a 4 1/4 square, just little present panel right on the back. You don't have to make it a folding card, but if you want to, I'm showing you how. Okay, so I'm going to stamp a little pattern just because it's fun, and I'm going to use this kind of what do you call it, like repeating arrow. It's giving me Aztec-y Arizona vibes. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I'm here for it. Okay, so since this is grapefruit cardstock, I'm going to stamp with sorbet, and it's going to be just a nice shade darker. And sometimes if you want nice intensity, you got to stamp it twice to make it nice. So I stamped that twice, then I'm going to clean it. Then I'm going to rotate it so the arrows are going the opposite direction. Again, I'm just going off the cuff. I'm just going with what feels right. You can customize this in 1,000,001 ways with 1,000,001 color combinations. Here I stamped the next row with Concord Night white pigment ink. Doing the next row with grapefruit. So this is going to be very subtle, and then I'm going to repeat it. Sorbet, white, grapefruit. and just repeat that. So it's kind of it's not an overwhelming, distracting pattern. It's kind of a tone on tone. I love to do, like whenever I use a color of cardstock, I love to use that same color of ink when I'm creating a pattern. And it just lights my fire. Okay, now for a bow, I thought, why not do contrasting colors? I believe I have a panel here of sea glass and juniper cardstock. And now for the bows, you want to do a two-tone bow. You don't have to do a two-tone bow, but if you want to really, accent that dimension on the bow. Also, there's these like ribbon strips that you can look like you tied a ribbon around your present. So you're going to want to do the lighter shade of the bow and the ribbon tails and the little ribbon knot. Take this all off camera, run it through my die cutting machine, and then I'll show you how I put this bow together. First up, I'm going to glue on the little ribbon wrapping. I don't know the technical terms for this, but I doubled up. So the first thicker one I did in that juniper, and then I'm going to glue on a thinner little strip of ribbon. As if. Do you ever double up your ribbon? I don't think I've ever doubled up my ribbon, but if I had two thicknesses of ribbon and I doubled it up, you bet your bottom dollar that gift is going to someone who appreciates it. Okay, for the bow. So the wider bow I did out of that juniper, the little slightly skinnier die cut. So you got to notice now the skinnier die cut is the open die cut, and the bigger bow is the solid. If you have trouble knowing which is which. And so there you have that kind of dimensional looking bow. Now for the tails, you want to do the tails swooping out like so or swooping out like so. There's no right or wrong, and I do all the different ones. It's just whatever I feel like doing. I don't think you can go wrong with ribbon tails. You know what I mean? And you can do this in so many different colors. I am gonna, I'm gonna make some doubled up bows out of different shades of red and put them on my Christmas presents just because. And then so I'm gluing this all together, and then also there's the one that goes right in the middle, kind of covers up all the overlapping, and it's like your little perfect little knot right in the center. And then you glue this to the top. There's a little bit of extra on that ribbon to give you room to glue your bow. And now this fits perfectly in an A2 size envelope. And you could stand your gift up. Look how it opens. Perfectly opens. I did a little tag, already prepped one, and I'm going to tuck it in. You could also tie it on with some twine, but I'm just going to slide it right under that bow with a little bit of glue and call it a day. So there you have an easy little gift shaped card. I want to show you how this fits into an A2 size envelope just perfectly. That's why you make the card slightly smaller to give room for that big old bow, and it fits. It's nice and flat. It's not bulky for mailing, and I think it's cool too that you could stand it. If you do a top folding, stands on the desk like that so you can look at it. Here's another one, rainbow. I couldn't resist a rainbow card present with some vellum, white glitter cardstock, and metallic matte gold cardstock. And then I did a circle tag and embossed that for you in white so it really pops. And there's two different examples using the All Wrapped Up stamp set and All Wrapped Up dies. For more inspiration, check out the Concord 9th website. Also, their Instagram gives you lots of inspiration with these new December products.